How's it going, everybody? We are Lodi's Odilon, and this next song is about a lake. We like to call that one I Hate You, Don't Leave Me on Lake Park Avenue. Yeah, shout out to Missing Musician Van Sessions for putting us on today. We're over here in Lodi Lake, Lodi, California. Those of y'all that know us and those of y'all that don't, we are Odilon. My name is George. Down here on the floor we have Sam on synth. To his right we got Gabe over there on bass. And crammed deep inside the van is Mr. Tyler Hills on pots and pans. No, I think we're fine. Gotta be here to be here, you know? If you know, you know. This next one we like to call PC CD, but our CDs are anything but PC. Are all y'all ready? Why can't it be seen? I know you're trying to lead me on, so quit trying to beat me. I know you're trying to beat me up. I can't deny or can't rely on it. Can't deny or can't rely on shit, fuck. So quit trying to love me. You weren't there when I needed you, and all I wanted was a day or two. Something's starting to bug me. I can't deny or can't rely on it. Can't deny or next song we call Punk Song Reggae Song, and it's off our new album, We All Fall Down. Tyler, Weezer Rhythm. Just said he won't shine his light on me. What's on Joe high on me empty? And Pop said he don't want me around the house no more. 'Cause I bring all my problems through the door. She said she don't want me now. Keep that thing on me all the time. Parents, they want me now. My landlord, he don't want me all the time. You try and steer me from my own way. You try and steer me from my own ways. You don't want, no, you don't want, no, you don't want me anymore. No, you don't want, no, you don't want, no, you don't want me anymore. My friends all hate me 'cause I will not get no job. My old lady, she laughed and she said, I'm a fucking slob. The neighbors call the cops on my reggae house party. But they had to show up twice 'cause no one wanted to leave. She said she don't want me now. My dead friends, they want me all the time. So keep that thing on me now. My landlord, he don't want me all the time. You try and steer me from my own way. You try and steal me from my own ways. You don't want, no, you don't want, no, you don't want me anymore. You don't want, no, you don't want, no, you don't want me anymore. She doesn't want me anymore. Why can't it be easy? I know you're trying to lead me on.
Shout out.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third episode of the Missing Musician podcast. Thank you so much for being here. I'm here with Odilon, the band from Lodi, California. Thanks for joining me, Odilon. Appreciate you guys.
No problem.
Thank you.
So Odilon just came out with a new album, brand spanking new. What is it, 11 tracks? About
Yeah,
43
11
minutes
tracks.
on all streaming platforms. It's called We All Fall Down. Go check that out. It's a smasher. And try not to get distracted and hit pedestrians, but have a good time, be safe. Stream Odilon's We All Fall Down.
It's perfect music to shower naked to.
Go shower naked.
Or you could shower
to
clothed to
Odilon.
it if you're feeling freaky.
Hey, there are dozens
Or
of never
closed.
nudes.
So, can I get some introductions here?
Yeah, I am George. I sing vocals and I play rhythm guitar.
I'm Sam. I do synth samples and some production stuff.
I'm Tyler, and I hit these bad boys back here.
Yeah.
My name is Gabe, and I play the bass. This guy.
So you guys have been releasing music since what, about 2021, right?
Around there, yeah.
Could you tell me a little bit about how you guys got started, the formation of the band, and how you guys have evolved up to this point?
Yeah, so this is actually not the original lineup of Odilon. I originally started it with a group of friends from high school, and then we all ended up having a falling out. So I went and did some solo stuff for a while before I actually started releasing more stuff. And I actually recorded a music video all on my lonesome, all on a iPad and GarageBand. And that one's called Right Below the Shoulders. And then after that, I had another guitarist friend join up with me, and that's actually when I met Sam and Tyler. I actually met them both on the same night at Wildwood Skate Shop here in Lodi, which is no longer open. Rest in peace, Wildwood Skate Shop.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
But yeah, I met these guys. I was doing a booth selling rethrifted clothing and all that kind of stuff. And Sam came up to our booth and offered us free recording resources. He basically offered that if we needed any mixing, mastering, recording for anything, that he was trying to build a portfolio and get all that going. And then right after that conversation, my old guitar buddy and I were walking to the bathroom, and we spotted this handsome strapping gentleman right there, and we were
know if I'd
like,
say that.
you know what, he looks like a drummer. But yeah, we walked right up to him. We're like, what
This
about
guy
you,
likes to
man?
hit stuff.
What's your name? What do you like to
Walking
do? And he's
stereotype.
like, I'm Tyler, and I like to skate. And we're like, oh, what about anything else? He's like, oh, I also like to drum. And so we picked him up and we put him on. He basically joined up for our tour. He had like 2 weeks to practice everything
it was like
and
a
get
total
it
of
all.
like 14 songs in like 2
and get it
weeks,
all
but
ready for tour.
Luckily, I was up to the task. Recently unemployed, so fucking why not, dude?
But yeah, he held it down, and he definitely filled the spot, filled the shoes in that we needed to fill in. And then Gabe over here, just recently, I think last year, got out of the Marines for 4 years out in Okinawa.
February last year. Wow. And he always told me whenever I got back that I'd have an open spot, and the bass position.
Our old bassist Jamie, shout out Jamie, she's super cool. She took a hiatus for some personal time, and it ended up being the perfect timing right when he got out of the military.
Just
So
hopped right in and been playing since then. Yeah, had a great time so far. So
he learned how to play the bass for this gig,
Yeah.
for the spot. So
yep.
you're a bassist now.
Yep.
Thank you for your service, dude.
Thank you. We also have another service member here, Tyler.
Oh, no shit.
I was in the Army.
Wow. This is like a half vet band right here.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Right on. So, what would you say? You guys have released, seems like a few EPs and a handful of singles and stuff, right?
Yep.
What would you say sets apart this most recent release from your other stuff?
So one of the biggest things I would say that sets this one apart is that we handled all of the mixing, mastering, and recording in-house, either in Sam's studio or my rehearsal space at my house. And it took us a good half a year of just pedal to the metal, grinding to get it all done. Some of these songs have taken like literal years to come out too. I know our third track on the album, Call Me From Carson City, it was my former bassists from the original lineup, and I wrote about like half the lyrics on it. So when we had split up, he took that song with him, and it was never again going to see the light of day. But I got pretty lucky, and he married my aunt. So now he's legally my uncle, and I get to see him all the time. So last year for my birthday, he showed up empty-handed and was like, I just have my presents as a gift. And I was like, I know the perfect thing you can give me, bro. Give me that song. And he did, and we brought Sam over to his place, and he recorded the bass and the guitar. So our former bassist, Anthony, is actually on our new album as well. But we did a bunch of cool stuff. We featured a bunch of movies. We featured about 3 movies on the album. The movie Twins from 1980s. The movie Gothica with Halle Berry, and Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist as well. And we didn't clear our samples. FCC, please don't sue us. But I think they work really fucking well. So
To add to the like why this is different, because we also recorded in house the Odilon EP too. a lot of, at least on my end, what changed is I fully joined the band when I started playing live, and I started kind of understanding what the music was more. And I think that this album comes out a lot more authentic than anything, right? Authentic to the sound of Odilon Live than anything previous.
Definitely. And we also featured a up-and-coming artist called I Want to Be Mesmerizing to You on our first 2 singles. He's blowing up right now.
Yeah, thank you. Check him out.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I Want to
love
Be
his stuff.
Mesmerizing to You. That's the name of the artist?
Yep,
Cool.
that we featured on our first 2 songs.
Sick.
So, yeah, and I think we've been playing these songs, or at least a good amount of these songs, since last year when Gabe joined up, even a little bit before that, before when Jamie was still on bass. So it's super exciting for us to actually get all this time to perfect the music and bring it to the point where we really think it should be at, and then also be blessed with Sam and his ability to record and mix and master everything, because that saved us a ton of time, energy, and money on the whole project.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think
and also,
we
we appreciate you not lying to us about your credentials, Sam, because the last guy said he recorded Led Zeppelin, and that was just a straight up lie.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna name any names.
Yeah,
but,
okay, we're not naming names. Sorry. But
yeah.
he definitely didn't record Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, and he was expensive too. It was like $3,000 to record 5 tracks with the
Shit.
first guy
Yeah.
we went through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty expensive. So
Yes.
that kind of hurt our pocket for a minute.
No, you guys got an in-house engineer here.
But yeah, I think Sam understands, like you said earlier, our sound a lot more.
I realized over the process of recording more and more Odilon stuff that in the nicest way possible, Odilon has to kind of sound like shit to sound good.
We happily take the title of slacker rock because we are not good at our jobs, but we love doing it.
Yeah, we try to go for a very live kind of sound, even on
Hanging
the
out with the
album, you know.
bros on a Tuesday at a public
Like,
park, smoking cigarettes and drinking beers.
We embrace all of our faults.
Low amount of fi and a whole lot of heart kind of
Yeah,
thing.
a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
lot of heart.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm curious, where does the name Odilon originate from? Where did that?
So that actually comes from a French Renaissance painter from the 1800s. His name is Odilon Redon. And he did a lot of charcoal lithography work that I ended up falling in love with. And a lot of that stuff that he did was kind of really sketchy and grim and kind of creepy. He did a lot of cyclops with these big bulging eyes looming over, a small person on a hill, or these spiders with human-like faces trying to kind of personify spiders and kind of creepy things like that. And all of his charcoal lithography work in his early years became known as his noirs. And I fell madly obsessed with those noirs. And he's actually known as one of the fathers for modern art and the surrealism movement.
Yeah, he's a very
So a lot of
surrealist
painters
painter.
like Salvador Dali took inspiration from Odilon Redon himself. And once he got a little bit up there in his years, he actually ended up switching over to oil pastels, which was the more popular medium at the time.
His work got a lot prettier after.
Yeah,
after a
he
little
started
while.
painting landscapes with hills covered in flowers and women in sundresses on the hills and stuff like that. And that kind of stuff is what people consider his contribution to modern art now today. But I really loved his earlier stuff, but I really kind of loved the concept and the idea that you can start out really grim and rough and sketchy, but over time, as you develop your skills, as the mediums of painting your picture change in the world, you can grow and adapt and then eventually learn to paint these masterful portraits that people fall in love with, and they, change history. So that's kind of what I wanted for the band as well. I'm not a professional musician in any way, shape, or form. I have no professional classes under my belts. I've just been singing and playing guitar for the last 5 years, and that's about it. Kind of same thing with Gabe, just a little bit of high school experience and just playing with me and some friends and just singing all the time. Him and I used to be in a lot of plays, Christmas plays
A
and
lot
stuff
of theater,
like that.
musical theater. I did it all throughout high school and some in elementary school. So we were very musically inclined just growing up, and that kind of led us into that path.
But Tyler and Sam here, they're actually a little more classically trained. So I think as we continue on, hopefully we'll all get to that point where we're
I hope
making
our
some...
professionalism rubs off on you in all the right ways.
Maybe you'll learn a thing
You
or
rub
two,
something
George.
off on me every time we get together.
Play with a metronome. The drummer. Say that.
So I know you were saying like you've kind of this name Odilon, sort of symbolic of the theme that you want this band to have, where you kind of grow grow into something very refined and beautiful out of some less less experienced, less refined things.
I hope that we follow in his suit. It came in with kind of a fall, very dark. Maybe we'll like pull a Tyler the Creator and
That's what I'm hoping for with it.
I hope our music evolves as we evolve and like we grow as people.
I also hope that when people are looking us up or whatever, that they find his art and they're able to kind of go through that process that I was when I found his art and just kind of be amazed with it,
Right.
So.
Yeah. Dude, even thinking about it now, even like the cover of our album is still like like a face on like a thing that's not supposed to have a face, like a flower.
Exactly.
Like,
We use a lot of
taken,
surrealism in our artwork, and I feel like our lyricism too. My lyricism, I try to paint a really big surreal picture with what words I'm using and stuff.
Yeah.
And he was Odilon himself was actually served in the Franco-Prussian War too, so he was a veteran himself. So I feel like that kind of also ties into.
For sure.
Into our stories, so.
I could kind of see it as like the band's theme is a parallel between personal growth and the sound of your music, kind of, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Growing with your art.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. For this album, is there any overarching theme lyrically?
So I do sing a lot about friends. Along the way, I feel like it's most important to make as many friends as possible. Without stopping and having a conversation and asking a random person their name, I would not have met these two guys sitting back here. So I feel like that's something I sing a lot about, is like my friends or my dead friends or you're my friend now. And I feel like that's one of our favorite call-outs. Yeah, at our shows we usually go, you're all my friends now, we're having soft tacos later. And I think that feeling of like embracing everybody, especially like when you're on stage and when you're performing, and you can kind of just put your arms out to everybody and accept them all for who they are and hope that they can accept you the same way. I think that's kind of one of the most important overarching themes over our whole music. I know a lot of it too is just like a lot of my personal struggles, which kind of come into things like relationships and like not just relationships with partners, but relationships with friends and with family and with all kinds of things like that. And I think it's just about having struggles, understanding those struggles, and finding your ways to overcome them. I think that's kind of what the music has been for me.
Like heavily relates to just the human experience is what we're trying to kind of express.
You guys also, you have a tour coming up. Early July. Tell me a little about that.
So technically, we're on tour right now. This is part of the tour. Yeah.
Got it.
We kept a couple of the dates a little close to home, so we could avoid having to pay for hotel fees and gas fees and food and all the extra stuff that comes along with going on the road. But this Friday on the 27th, we're going to be hitting Winter's Tavern in Pacifica with Jasmine, Virility, Hope, and our boys Seawater coming all the way from SAC.
Seawater Band, shout out.
Seawater dudes.
Yeah, they just played over at our punk rock flea market here in Lodi over at Idle Beer Works, and they even brought out a cotton candy machine, and we're selling cotton candy for everybody. Like,
wow.
They gave my kids some free cotton candy, so I was pretty stoked.
Dude, you can't not win. Bring out cotton candy to your show.
A whole lot of vendors out there.
Oh yeah.
A whole lot of music to share.
Oh yeah,
people not
pretty
even
good
playing.
turnout.
We're just like putting up a booth. A lot of tattoo artists, a lot of artists.
Oh yeah. And so after that, tomorrow we have Music Landria in Sacramento. We're going to be playing with Show Band and Farley Court, both of which are pretty awesome bands. I would heavily recommend checking them out. After that, we're going to be hitting the road and heading to LA for 3 dates out in LA. We're going to be hitting July 1st, Redwood Bar and Grill in downtown LA. July 3rd, say a little bit about it. We're going to be playing with The Burners and Cowboy Destroy, which are some pretty cool bands out there in LA too. Some kind of cool stoner rock kind of stuff. And then not the day after, but 2 days after that, on Thursday, July 3rd, we're going to be playing in Hollywood at Harvard and Stone. Shout out Third Eye Shut Booking, who helped us set the whole show up. We're going to be performing with Cool Knife and a metal band out there called Womb LA. Pretty cool guys, too.
That's a cool name.
And then last but not least is our biggest show of the tour. It's going to be July 4th, Friday night at Whiskey A Go-Go in West Hollywood. We're going to be opening up for Love/Hate, which is a 35-year like hair metal band. I think the singer's name is Jizzy Pearl, and they're celebrating 35 years. And they're doing one of their albums. I think it's called In the Red Room, in its entirety. So I think it's gonna be a sick, packed-in house.
Oh yeah.
Some good shows, some good tickets. Definitely don't want to miss these ones coming up.
Yeah,
so.
go check out Odilon on tour. Sounds like they need some groupies right now.
Yeah.
So
Of any gender, we don't discriminate.
I always like to ask musicians, or really whoever, anyone who has a passion in life, who's pursuing it, whether it be for a career or just as a hobby, or to enhance your life. What would you say this band's ultimate goal is? And I know you'll all have slightly different perspectives on this because you're all your own people. But if you guys could come to a consensus about it, do you think as a band you have a solid anchor in the future that you're chasing?
One of those, I know everyone has like personal goals with their music. One, it's our kind of collective group goal almost to basically create our own record label, and using Odilon to kind of start up a business. That'll be hopefully Solta Serpens Records. And through that, we want to be able to provide the same sort of resources that we can give and that we are always looking for to everyone. If you join the group, if you can, hopefully we want to rent out rehearsal spaces at one point in time, and book our own shows, do events, do promoting, do merchandise, videography, photography, like everything in and around music, art, and events, and putting everything together. I kind of want to add that along with a record label and have kind of additionally ultimately a place where people can go and kind of pick their dream team of artists that are all in this group. I really like the way he sounds. I want him as a singer, and I want that bassist, and I think the combination of them with this drummer is going to be really, really cool. You know what I mean? And then they can work together, create their own artist or band name, and then go from there and hopefully use all of the equipment that we can gather and borrow and share, and kind of just help make more music and put on more shows and keep having a good time.
Yeah, we have like a spreadsheet going, just basically just getting as many contacts as possible, listing out what people are good at, what they're willing to do, what kind of help they can give to anyone who has access to it. Just like trying to connect people, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Basically build that network of musicians and artists as far-reaching as possible, to try and bring everybody together and utilize the resources all in-house, hopefully.
Sure. So kind of, it sounded to me like a music collective is what you're starting, not just a record label.
It could all be underneath the record label, but like a record label working as a business and as a collective of artists, all kind of full circle. Kind of just
I don't know about y'all, but I'm here to get laid and I'm here to get paid.
Boys?
Yeah, my main goal is to not break up as a band. That's like a big one that gets a lot of bands, I think.
That's
They break up before they even hit their stride. And I just hope we just keep on fucking going, guys, and keep doing. That's it. Just keep going.
My
Yeah,
main
just
goal
keep,
is to
keep pushing
blow up.
forward. Like, have you ever seen like Meet the Robinsons? Like, just live by
Yeah,
it. No matter if you mess up the take or whatever, you just keep pushing forward and don't, I don't know, be so down on yourself all the time.
I'm here to have a good time and make the best art I possibly can with everyone I can make it with.
I'm here to blow up and act like I don't know nobody.
This guy's got the right idea. Follow his lead. So do you guys want to do this professionally?
Yeah,
ultimately?
100%.
Yeah.
Definitely, I think.
Okay.
I don't think we'll be
everybody's at least
satisfied
shared
until
goal.
we're hitting some big stages like Aftershock and
Yeah.
reggae festivals.
For sure.
And, until we're a household name, like
Yeah.
all the greats that we all listen to and we all aspire to be like. I don't think we're going to be satisfied until that comes. And plus, for one of my personal goals for me, my daughter has told me that when she grows up, she either wants to be a veterinarian or she wants to be a part of Dad's band. So that kind of coincides with Tyler's goal. We got to stay together, not break up, be successful enough, make enough money to where when she finally gets old enough and can play her instrument, you're on the team, kid, So
Yeah.
that's one of my goals, keep
That's
it around
pretty sweet.
till I got gray hair,
Yeah.
Yeah.
She can carry on the legacy too. I mean, shit.
Plus a punk band with a chick singer, dude. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
So how did you guys all start playing music?
I'll go first. I started playing the cello of all things. Technically I started playing trumpet, and I literally could not make a sound out of it. I was like making a fart noise into the
I had
into
the
the thing.
exact experience playing
yeah,
trumpet.
and I didn't like it, but I like doing things with my hands, so I can just I liked that. So I did that for a while until eventually they didn't have the orchestra program after I moved back to California for middle school, and I just got talked into just being a percussionist, by my skater friend back in the day. And yeah, thank you, Yale. Shout out, homies for forever. And yeah, I feel like that's long story short. Yeah.
Cello. That's a
Cello
good one
into
to start
drums.
I started playing piano when I was like 4 or 5, and I played it for like 5-6 years, and then I quit because I was playing it because I liked my teacher, Ben, and he quit to go to grad school or something, so I stopped playing piano for like 10 years. Shout out Ben. And then I picked up guitar when I was like 16. Played that for a while, got into like recording and producing and everything. And there was no like hard line like I want to make music, but I'm at a point where I can't really imagine doing anything else.
You guys trying to
that
locate
thing
the
on?
source of that?
I was wondering what that noise was.
That's from behind us somewhere.
It's just a goose.
Cool. As long as it's not equipment.
How about you?
For
How'd
me,
you start out?
I actually started playing music after a bad breakup, and my ex had actually given me a guitar, and I'd always like sang and made some like joke songs with my buddies. We would actually come here and like go to the back nature area and swim, drink, smoke, do all the fun stuff, and bring the guitar every time. And we would play one of our originals, Jesse's song, before we ever formed the band and anything. We'd perform that one. I know what it
Yeah,
is.
maybe that is one of the mains.
Yeah, I got it. I figured it out. It was mine.
Let me unplug it.
Dude, I must be deaf because I'm like, I
I don't know what you guys
yeah,
are
I'm
referring
literally
That should do
like
it.
the van is muffling the sound from like our perspective. So
Yeah,
we
I
think
think that was
we
the
think they're
culprit.
tweaking, right, Sam?
But yeah,
you guys are
I
great
kind of
at
What do these
used
guys do?
the guitar as an outlet for a lot of my like leftover emotions and stuff that I had from that breakup. And I actually wrote Lake Song after that with that original guitar that my ex had given me. And from there, once I had some friends and everybody was really actually liking the sound of what I was able to put out, I was kind of hooked. I could never put it down, honestly. So it's a huge rush. But there's like always a part of me in the back of my mind that hopes that they listen in, you know what I mean? And I get to kind of finally vent those last frustrations and say those last words that I kind of wanted to say. So some of those songs have kind of grown with me as kind of like messages, you know what I mean, hidden messages for the right person who needs to hear it. So
Like I said, I started with musical theater, so I've been singing my whole life. I've done like one professional singing class. I did like a year of learning how to play the flute in like 7th grade. And then I did a year of guitar in high school. And then on top of that, I would sit in the garage with my older brother and my Anthony, the same one who gave him
our now uncle.
Our now uncle, yeah. And be singing along to the songs that they would write, and that was like back in 2017, 2016.
That's when we wrote Carson City too.
So
our third one on the
really
album.
Cool. Really, really cool to like have been there, like that young and playing these songs in the garage, and they just kind of became nostalgic, and then finally they are now produced. So that's really cool. But yeah, I maintained guitar, a little bit of guitar ever since class in high school, and then really dug in once I had more free time once I got out of the military with bass. So yeah, I'm still fresh to playing music more than singing, I guess. So it's been a pretty cool experience so far.
Oh yeah.
I forgot to mention, I do play guitar too. I play a little bit of guitar
good
in
for
this
you.
album.
I play guitar
wanted to-
too.
Hey, you play guitar?
Dude,
Wait, are
Yeah,
you in
but
my
you can
band?
multi-instrumentalist.
Wait, we should
Dude,
start
do I
a
play-
band.
we should start a band, dude.
Yeah, we got to start a band. We
Dude's
all play
on
guitar.
drums.
Oh, fuck!
Chinese fire
I'm out.
Chinese fire drill the band.
Band's over.
Yeah.
So what's your writing process as a band, and specifically this album? What was the whole?
It was kind of like over the course of a very long time, with
Yeah.
each song developing like as it was played live and just to practice and everything.
Each song
But-
has its own story to tell,
Yeah.
like on how it was incepted, I guess.
Yeah, so I had written a lot of stuff over the course of the last couple years before I had a full band, and I always had like this mental vision of how it should be performed and how it should be played. So I would say a good maybe half of this album was kind of like taking my mind back to that time when I wrote it, trying to remember how I wanted it to originally sound with a full band, and then attempting to accomplish it with these guys. So I did do a lot of the writing myself, but Tyler did some too with us on there. I know
Yeah.
Gabe did a little bit with us too. And I'm always writing with Sam. I'm not sure how much we might have written together on this one, but yeah, like they said, it's kind of some of them took a couple years to get to here, but I would say our overall process is drink beer, smoke weed,
Yeah,
play music, and you know what sounds good. I think all four of us have been listening to music long enough to know what sounds good, even if we're maybe a little unskilled compared to the next musician. I feel like our ear and our knack for finding out and figuring out what
Yeah.
does sound good with our capabilities has been increasing over the last couple of years.
Mm.
And I think that's something that kind of really helped into the writing process for the album, because there's still some stuff that we had that didn't make it into the album too, and I really think that it was based solely on the feel, the vibe, you know what I mean? Like, does it fit with these other songs? Does it kind of fit with our overarching theme? And how good does it sound? What is the actual quality of it, Because, I could write all day in my garage as much as I want, but when it clicks, There'll be times where with some of these songs through the writing process and the recording process for studio, we'd catch ourselves hanging out, and other times, going to the bowling alley or to the movies or something, and we'd have a craving or an itching to hear that song already. So we'd pull up a file on our phone or something like that, or we would just sing it. And I think the fact that if you write a song, you make something like that, and it digs itself into your ear, it digs in like a tick, and it stays. I think that's kind of one of those signs that it's a good one.
Visceral imagery.
Yeah, and I think our whole album, we really wanted everybody to feel like they were in the throes of nostalgia, yet fiercely seated in the present moment. I want you to be here and present and listen to what I'm saying, but yet I still want what I'm saying to take you back and take you away. And I think I think we accomplished that
Yeah.
shit. I think we hit the nail on
Especially
on
with
the
like
head.
Hollywood blockbuster. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
that's just nostalgic things to us nowadays.
Yeah. And like Gabe said too, like with "Call Me from Carson City" being written like
Like, 10
years
years
ago
ago
now,
almost,
for him
yeah.
getting to actually hear it with a full band and full sound. You were saying it brings you nostalgia, but it brought you nostalgia for something like you kind of yearned for. I feel because in Anthony's garage, we never got to play "Call Me from Carson City" with a full band, with full drums, full guitar, full bass, vocals, everything. So like what you were nostalgic for was what we had yet to create.
Yeah.
And I think that's amazing. I don't think that there's many people out there capable of doing that, you know, with
sure.
with the psyche and the mind. And
Yeah,
so.
that's awesome.
Hopefully, we will be nostalgic to somebody someday. You know, future nostalgia
Yeah.
in the making.
Honestly, maybe my
Like-
maybe my kid, you know what I mean? Maybe she'll grow up
Yeah.
listening to all these songs and
I was listening to a little clip from an interview with the jazz pianist Chick Corea, and he was talking about how the most difficult thing as a musician is truly understanding what it is that sounds beautiful to you, as opposed to what you think should sound beautiful to you based off of, you know, the people around you and their tastes and what pop culture has to say about what's good and what's bad.
Yeah. So we
and
never
what
stopped
you
and asked
should
ourselves, like, would Taylor Swift do this?
Exactly.
Which she would.
And yeah, and just sort of
She should.
thinking independently as much as you can of what the norms are and you know, what's trending at the moment. That is the most difficult thing is really knowing your own ear to a point where it's stripped down to it's authentically your taste.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about like some you know, psychological method to try to keep that in check?
I have the perfect one. So for me, when I'm recording and I'm writing and I'm performing and I'm even just playing to myself in my garage, I don't know what it's called, but it's that thing where you're listening to music and it hits you so hard it gives you goosebumps. For a lot of our tracks in the studio, I was constantly having goosebumps because I was getting like I said, the rush of nostalgia for having written these songs over the course of the last 5, 6, 7 years, and then actually getting to see them come to life and actually getting to see them walk around and dance around and move around and be their own thing. I think the second you get those goosebumps, you're on the right track.
Right,
You know, that's your
right.
spirit. That's
Goosebumps don't lie, huh?
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's it. As soon as you get that feeling, keep going.
For sure.
It's,
Absolutely.
It's kind of like fear. Tyler and Gabe and I just went gambling over at the casino not too long ago, and that's what I was telling Tyler. It's like, you feel that fear, you're gonna win. You're gonna win on the next hand, and we won. We walked away with like a good $500 that
Yeah.
night.
I will say we probably have like slightly different methods though. Like I try not to like I guess force anything, and I try to like let it come naturally. Like, definitely, you know, those goosebumps do come naturally, but you know, not like like forcing this song. You know, like even he said we had some songs that just didn't make it. You know, that's at least how I try to be on the drum set. Try to get into that like, you know, what like athletes call it, just like the zone. You know,
Flow
just try to
state.
get in the flow state. That's
Yeah.
a great way to put it. Yeah, just to get into that flow state and like, you know, when it feels right, kind of thing.
I kind of have the exact opposite experience creatively, where I go back over and over and over and
Yeah.
rethink, and I'm like very analytical about it.
Oh yeah, you got to know like when you weren't in that state. You know, you can still like do it and just like, no, that wasn't it. I could do it better. You know,
Yeah.
that's like a rational thing you should have going in your brain as well.
Yeah, but like with mixing and stuff, I've listened to every song on this album hundreds and hundreds of times,
Yeah.
just because I'm overanalyzing every tiny part of it, you know.
But I think one of the things that you kind of agreed with us on is that like on some of those songs you kind of have to let go of that. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
kind of have to let
like
go
you,
of.
You kind of have to feel like a lot of what I learned making this album is that you have to feel the music, especially with this kind of music, for it to sound how
like
you
it
want
should.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sound
like it
organic.
should.
sound organic
That's
and real.
that's one thing I've kept telling them too, that I'm extremely proud of us, you know, finally getting it to this point, because I think I've said it to you guys multiple times. I feel like this is what our music deserves to sound like, you know, and that's kind of, you know, adding a little personification to the music itself. But I think that that's worth it. I think that that's necessary, because it honestly, you know, it's like it's a brainchild. You know, it's the you know, your creative product, and once it's out there, it's no longer yours. Almost like, you know, when you have a kid. Me personally, I have a daughter. Shout out Ripley if she sees this. But when you have a kid, you know, you can try your best to try and pass on, you know, your beliefs, your emotions, your method of thinking. But ultimately, what shapes the human experience is going out into the world and living.
Yeah.
And as a parent, you can't always control that. So same kind of thing with a musician. Once your song's out there, you can't exactly control how everybody's going to interpret it or how everybody's going to feel when they listen to it. You could just try your best to shape that narrative, to kind of shape the direction of where your song's going to go. And kind of same thing, you know, with being a parent. You just have to try your hardest to kind of guide your child in the right direction and let them come to understand why they need to head in that direction for their own. And so that's kind of what I think like we were really trying to accomplish too, is to get what we want, you know, all our brainchild part in there. Good.
Just get our baby ready.
And then
for the world.
once we send it out, you know, we're hoping like, okay, it comes back to us grown. It comes back to us changed.
You gotta trust that they're gonna find their path, you know.
And we did a house show not too recently over at Pink House in Stockton, and we had only shown like a good couple groups of our like close friends some of our demos before they were fully done being mixed and mastered. But at that house show, dude, we had like 10, 15 people just screaming our lyrics back to us. And for me, the album wasn't out yet. So I'm like, these are all new songs. You guys shouldn't know these lyrics yet. You know,
how did this get out?
Like,
who told you?
Yeah, but like everyone was singing them. And I'm like, that's it. That's you. It's in your guys' hands now. Treat my baby right, please.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's up to you guys to take it wherever else it needs to go now. You know, if it's the song of the summer or if it's Billboard Top 100 or whatever, that's up to the audience, you know, the listeners,
classic or something.
and the song itself, you know. So I feel like we got some contenders on there, though. You know, we might be a little, like I said, slacker rock, but Taylor Swift, watch out, we're coming for you.
For me, when it comes to creating, I'm in the goosebump zone totally. I absolutely understand that. And I get them too. I feel like, though, when I'm kind of making something, there's maybe a certain way that I hear it in my head, and I'm trying, like you said, to bring that out as much as you can. But I find sometimes that doesn't quite sound right to other people. Which, you always have to make a bit of compromise and this, you know, here and there. But I still play, like, off to the side, I'll still play the way I kind of like to hear it and like to listen to it. But then come back to what we have workshopped for any other song or something like that. So I like the ability that you have when you pick up an instrument is you can do whatever you want as long as you think it sounds good. And if you like that kind of music, whatever kind of music you're making, then just full send. Just don't have too much of a regard for, like, if someone says you don't sound good or they don't like how you play certain things.
As a band, we should all agree.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Whether
There's always
something
room for compromise,
Yeah.
absolutely, and there's always room for improvement, constructive criticism. But you also have to have your own voice and your own sound, and your own way of
expressing your own part.
producing.
Yeah,
I'm
of course,
legitimately
put yourself in
shocked
there.
we had no like big fights during the recording of this album.
Definitely.
Yeah, what about that? Like, how do you guys usually work those kinds of things out and come to a compromise without compromising your own soul?
We didn't really have any like disagreements or anything.
Like,
We kind of had a
honestly,
pretty straightforward time with it.
Like, sometimes I felt if like something was off time, just even by like a hair of like an eighth note or something, just like, oh, okay, no, this particular thing should be like, you know, right that spot, not quite like quantized
Technical
or
stuff.
but like technical, if it's just like, you know, obviously not in time, or it's like, you know, it's like, are you rushing or dragging here? You know, there's like times even for me on the album where it's like some tracks were on a metronome, some weren't, so I had to like feel others out how they go a little more than not, because for a lot of the songs, there's guitar recorded first.
Yeah, I
and
think
we kind of like built from there, and whether it needed a chorus, a bridge here, kind of felt around in the present moment where we were at with the song.
Yeah, I think we really didn't have much discourse or like disagreements over a lot of like what we wanted this to be.
We weren't
I
like
think-
no guitar solo here, or like
yeah,
no,
I mean,
wasn't
it never
like-
really resulted in a fight. Like all of what we were gonna change, we all just talked about it and said why we wanted it to change and had an actual valid reason. None of us brought our
Yeah.
egos into it and was
Yeah.
like, oh, we
Just
need
come
more,
at it in a
we need more
civilized manner.
vocals here because there's not enough vocals on the album. You know what I mean? None of us brought spite. None of us
Yeah.
It
brought.
also helps that like the album was mostly written going in.
Yeah, that one helped too a lot.
Yeah.
You know. And
Or
I
we
think-
had at least been jamming those songs for like months, or
Yeah.
at that point,
Almost a year or
So
some
they
of them.
kind of just like evolved through itself. Like, oh, we wanted to do like a fill here and play off each other. So like, kind of came up organically. Some of the structure, but there's a very few times where we just like built like, okay, this should be like 4 by 3, 3, 4, like how the bridge and chorus is
Yeah.
rolled into each
Taking
other.
it step by
Yeah,
step,
yeah.
like bar by bar,
Uh,
like, okay, this is what we're
Yeah.
doing, okay, and then,
Yeah, I think a big part of it too is like all of us genuinely do enjoy what we're doing. All of us
Yeah.
do genuinely enjoy hanging out with each other in a creative space and making art with each other. I think all of us enjoy each other's art as well. You know, Tyler can play guitar, and he wrote a solo song that made it onto the album. That the second he played it for me, I was like, I got a spot for it right here. This is the perfect spot. Like, I knew immediately creatively where I wanted it in the whole mix. And so I think another thing too is just the fact that we're all actually good friends. You know, we
Right.
we hang out all the
Respect
time.
each other. We
Yeah.
chill with
you
each
know?
other.
We play Fortnite. We play
Yeah.
Mario Party, Mario Kart. We smoke. We drink. We eat together. We cry together. We bomb together. And when we're doing good together too. You know, we're all a team.
Yeah.
Part of the
Yeah.
ship, part of the crew. You know what I mean?
Right.
When we load in, it's the exact same way we load out. Everybody helps everybody, you know. I've tried my hardest to like, oh, I'm the singer, so I should just have to bring my mic and the mic stand and everything. Nah,
That doesn't
I'm
work out.
yep. I'm there helping him set up his drums. I'm there helping him set up his bass or his synth.
Like no man left behind.
Exactly.
mentality, you know,
Exactly.
No
you
instrument.
know.
Cable left home.
I think too. Like I have all told them too. You know, we're not just doing this for us. You know, they've all met my daughter, and my daughter loves all of them, and I hope y'all love my kid back too. But
Shout out Ripley. Awesome.
shout out
Yeah.
Ripley.
Shout out
But
Ripley.
you know, like it's not just for us too. At the end of the day, you know, like my mom loves the music, my family loves the music, our friends love the music. So I think there's that kind of driving us forward too, to keep our heads in check. You know what I mean? To keep ourselves in check. And none of us are shy about like, you know, confronting the other if we have an issue. I think it's best to confront right away when that happens rather than leaving stuff unsaid and then people stew on it. You know, I think if anybody's giving us issues, all of us as a band are immediately on them, watching them. Like, you messing with my crew, dog? What's up? You know, like we're all there. And I think that's one of the biggest important things. And it's definitely hasn't been easy. You know, we've dodged some asteroids that have come our way. I've already had essentially like 2 band breakups, kind of. So this is the third time's a charm. Hopefully, you know, I think we really got a good batch going on right now. So.
I feel like I have a good stack of questions left, but they're just.
Oh, how's the camera?
Let me check.
Because if that thing's just like off, can I like smoke something?
Do you mind if
Yeah, can I smoke? Can I smoke in the interview? Oh, thank God.
As long as you share with me.
All right.
Like I said, we smoke together, we drink together, we eat together. Very few things we don't do together. Tyler showers with me sometimes. Secret Odilon confessions right now. Sam, what's your confession? He's traumatized. He's zoning
Can't be in a
off.
spot like that, George. The fuck?
You want to sit back down?
It's pretty nice.
Weather's nice right now.
Eventually, once it is getting a bit too dark for them, they'll do a siren, and that's kind of like the last call for everybody. So
I feel like we've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we
How
have.
do you guys feel about it?
I'm feeling
Yeah.
pretty good.
Maybe we could do a couple more and then wrap it up.
Two more questions.
Still gotta get all the gear packed up.
Yeah, we're gonna. We don't want to. I don't think we want to have the gear fully out when they call us to leave,
Yeah.
because it's gonna take a minute to
Yeah.
pack up.
It'll be easier to take it down than set it up.
Yeah. And we're kind of, like I said, well-oiled machine with this, you know what I mean? Like, load in, load out. We've had to do it a million times. Everybody knows everybody's setup, you know what I mean?
No, but I had to really like solve equations to like fit my drums in this van.
You know, what's the scene with Zach Galifianakis coming down the escalator in the casino?
Yeah.
He's got his hands like this. And all
Yeah, he's got the numbers.
all the
and
numbers are flying
equations
past him
going
and
on.
everything. No, you did a good job, dude. You managed to fit
Yeah.
that thing in there pretty good, dude. So.
Thank you. My back doesn't thank me, but thank you.
No, yeah, I think it was a pretty sweet setup. If y'all are interested, we just performed here live at Lodi Lake. So check out Missing Musician Van Sessions over on YouTube to catch us in a van down by the river.
Shout out Chris Farley.
I don't need it. Are you wanting this? Maggie? Are you wanting this? Is that what it was?
Yeah, someone literally just made a fake account of me, posted one photo, and it already got taken down.
Fake account already, huh?
Can't be me, baby.
Identity theft is not a joke.
There's only one. And I am Goose.
There's a million of me. Which one's the real one? Will the real Goose please stand up?
Wank.
The real Goose is loose. Ain't nobody catches this bitch.
That's Maggie, our band correspondent back there. She also handles our merch booth. She also does vocals for her project, Vaguely Present. Shout out, Maggie. She's going to be on our record label once we finally get everything off the ground.
So where do you guys, I know I talked about like ultimate goal and stuff, but where do you guys see yourself in the next 20 years or 20 years from now?
Where I
as a
am
band?
right now in a van down by the river.
Did I fuck something?
Coachella.
Hopefully alive.
Yeah, I want to be on big stages. I think that our sound deserves big stages. Not to be cocky, not to be an asshole, but I've been going to Aftershock for the last couple years, and one of these last years I saw Papa Roach, and their vocalist called out the whole crowd and said, if there's any musicians out in the crowd out there tonight right now, I want you to do one thing moving forward, and that's keep fucking going. Because 20 years ago, 25 years ago, I was where you guys were standing, in the crowd, listening to my favorite band, rocking the fuck out. And I've been dedicating my life and my time to this for the last 20 to 25 years, and this is where I'm at now. So don't give up on your dream and keep fucking going. So I
That's
hope to be
inspirational shiz right
continuing that echo down the chamber. I hope to be on that big stage telling all those kids in the crowd to follow their fucking dream and to never fucking give up.
Beautiful.
Hell yeah.
What about you guys?
In 20 years, I'll be around 50. Shit. So, yeah, I hopefully I'd like to be very financially stable at that point. I would like to have done a lot in terms of growing the band, growing the collective idea. Hopefully we have everything up and running, having set up. Hopefully we have a great portfolio and a list of events. I think I'd like to start our own event and our own event chain. I recently went... Brochella. Oh, my bad. Okay. I would like to start our own chain. I recently went to Kilby Block Party 6 out in Utah. It's a lot of indie, alt-indie types of bands. I saw Still Woozy and The Vacations. They're some of my favorite artists. And it was just a really, really cool vibe. Everyone, great music scene out in Utah. Everyone was super cool, and I had a really good time. I was like, I really want to play on this stage, do in this, event at this event sometime in the future. That would be amazing. But I also kind of got the idea of like, oh, they could have done a few of these things better. They could have had different, layouts for their stages and for their food stands and stuff like that. So that kind of put the idea in my head to start and have a continuous rolling event that we would then be able to, since we already would have a collective of artists, bam, here's your event that you guys now get to play as this Soul to Serpents Records label type of thing. Once a year, or however whatever the frequency would be. That would be pretty cool to have started that and keep it going and keep continuously getting more and more artists and big names out there, and also bringing up artists from the lower end of like views or popularity, giving them a space to perform, because everyone just wants to put their music out there. So we should give them the opportunity.
What about you, Sam?
Honestly, as long as I am still creating music that I'm happy with and proud to be the creator of, and as long as I'm always continuing to get better, I think I'll be okay. That's all I want out of this. I just want to keep creating the art that I want to create.
Don't sell out. We're not gonna sell out and shave our heads like Creed.
But yeah, I have no like giant plans of record labels and things and such. I'm a simple man. I want to keep drumming, keep doing what I love to do, and like have that be part of my life.
You're gonna have a really fancy drum kit one day.
Oh yeah.
Like Neil Peart.
Oh yeah. I want to collect many things. I want cymbals. I want a lot of cymbals. If anybody wants to sponsor me, like that would be tight. That's probably
Symbolism.
that's next goal. Get some sponsors. Like I'm already rocking dream cymbals. I have like a whole set of dreams. I was playing them here earlier today.
Shout out King Gizzard and the
Yeah,
Lizard.
I was literally about to shout out King Gizzard, man. Their drummer, I get a lot of inspiration from as well in his beats. So yeah, I just want to keep drumming, man.
Hell yeah.
And like Sam, like be proud of the music I make. Like I have like plan. I want to do like I love metal. I have a little bit of metal influence in Odilon, but yeah, and just progress as a drummer, get better at double bass pedal.
Shout out our song Get Back. That's like the one kind of hardcore
The
metal
White
song I
Whale.
put on the album, and it was for Tyler specifically.
He said, "Son, I made this for you."
Oh, thanks, Papa.
And along the way, to create a framework for yourselves in life, if you could give yourself 3 rules as guidelines in your life, if you just had to follow 3 rules, what would they be?
Don't do heroin, or meth, or any of those bad drugs. Fuck fent. Don't do any of that.
Fuck fentanyl.
There's supposed to be 3, right? There were 3 drugs, but okay.
Last one.
Fentanyl, heroin, and
Meth.
Oh,
Meth.
Meth. Yeah, meth.
Don't
Yeah,
do
don't
those.
do meth.
Everything
no
else is
Walter
okay.
White.
Everything else
Don't
is
do
fair
the
game.
blue stuff.
Mine are kind of along the same line. I think they're pretty classic, though. They're,
Yeah.
tried, tested, and true. Sex, drugs, and rock and fucking roll, dude. Just keep it going, dude.
Yeah.
As long as the party don't stop, right?
Don't be silly. Wrap your willy.
Make art, be happy, don't die.
Yeah.
you gotta die at some
to
point,
not
right?
dying. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm 27.
I'm gonna live forever.
George is on the verge here.
Oh,
Death away as much as
Yeah.
possible.
it's 27 club, right? Okay,
Yeah.
you got this, dude. One more year.
Have to make it till October.
Yeah.
No freak car accident.
I'd say probably not to let yourself get complacent, and when you do, pull yourself out. That's the first one. Number 2 would probably be just continuously keep creating, and anything that you do, that kind of passion and drive to create, let it just flow. If it's music, if it's art, if it's your passion for your work and what you do on a daily basis, anything, just let it flow, let it be free and natural, and keep creating, keep producing, because you're kind of just making your mark, but you're also making your life at that point, and that's what you have to look back on is, what did you do? Oh, I sat in my room all day. Or what did you do? Oh, I did 15 different things, and they were all turned into something else,
Or you went and did a podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the last one is probably keep making friends. Trying to push yourself to be a little bit more extroverted, instead of introverted. Say that comment, say that nice thing, or ask that question, say hello and shake that hand, because all you're doing is opening a door. Whether or not someone shuts it in your face, that's what happens sometimes, whatever. But at least you open the door, and you can see whatever good or bad possibilities on the other side. So that's the 3 for me.
Beautiful. Did you? You already went, right? Oh, yeah, you had the trifecta of drugs. That's right.
No, that was Tyler.
Oh yeah, drugs. Don't be silly. Wrap your willy, and the profit. I don't know.
Yeah, we're getting eaten alive now.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
the sun is
mosquitoes
officially
start
set.
calling.
Skeeters.
We're about
I hate the bugs.
ready to dip out of here then, because the mosquitoes are claiming their territory, So
I have sweet
our
blood
body
too.
fiber
It's all the alcohol, sugars.
seeping
We
out of our
juicy.
pores. Well, go check out Odilon's new album, We All Fall Down. It's on all streaming platforms. It's a real smasher. Check them out on Instagram at, how do you spell it?
0DI1ON.
0DI1ON.
We're going to be leaving for San Francisco Friday, the 27th of June, and coming back on July 5th.
Beautiful. Thank you, boys.
We are
Nice
Odilon.
talking
Thank
to you all.
We have been Odilon.
You guys are awesome.
Odilon.
See you guys on the next one.
Peace.